Good morning, drivers. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jen, and it's my channel Highway Bound. Today we're going to be talking about how the Brotherhood of trucking is dying. Pretty important topic. I think we're all feeling it, especially the last 2 or 3 years. So let's grab a cup of coffee, sit back and relax, and let's get into the video. Alright, I don't know if you guys do, but do you guys remember when a trucker meant that you were a professional? You were part of a brotherhood, a knight of the road, highway cowboy. That feeling of a shared space or of a mutual respect seems to be fading faster than what a lot of people realize. Nowadays, it feels like it's being replaced by a transactional indifference, very cold and stale. And it's choking the life out of this industry. That old code, the unwritten Bible of highway conduct that kept all of us safe, sane, and efficient, seems to be on life support right now. We aren't seeing the basic etiquette of trucking anymore. We're seeing a slow death of professionalism, and it seems to be happening one clogged fuel island, one ignored courtesy flash, and one blocked parking spot at a time. I think we should start with the most obvious battlefield, which seems to be the hammer lane. It used to be a tool and not where we like to camp. Had one purpose. Somebody's going slower than you in the right lane. Put on your blinker. Check your mirrors. You get over. You pass. Once you get far enough ahead, the driver behind you would either turn off the lights, turn them back on, or flash their lights, let you know it's safe to get back over. Once you got back over, you'd indicate to the driver behind you that you were saying thank you, whether that's hazards or doing a cool trick with your turn signal. That's how we do things. It was like we were having a conversation with each other without having to say a single word. And nowadays, we have governed trucks. We have drivers that are fresh out of driving school, have only been with another driver for 3 to 5 weeks for training, and now they're in the hammer lane because they are going 68.5 miles per hour while the guy in the right lane is going 68 miles per hour. Seems like the new creed seems to be, I am legally allowed to be here, and my cruise control is set 0.3 miles per hour faster than the truck next to me, so the problem is yours. Just last week, I was running up I-94 through Wisconsin, and I witnessed a masterclass in this new stupidity. It was a brand new Freightliner, logo of a mega carrier plastered on the side, pulled into the left lane, directly in front of me as I was coming up beside them, going quite a bit faster than they were. So I had to slam on my brakes, of course. Pull left lane to pass basically the same company. They basically go the same speed at max. It felt like for the next 22 miles, they were perfectly matched. Barely passing. Guy on the left would be going a little bit faster, and then we would go up a hill. He was obviously heavier. Then the other driver would start pulling ahead of him because he's faster, because he's lighter. This was in the left lane. It's a 2-lane stretch. Traffic started to pile up behind him from miles. Cars, other company drivers. We were all held it felt like we were being held hostage. A lot of people started to get aggravated. They were taking risks. They were driving onto the soldier, cutting in and out of tiny gaps. You know, that kind of thing. It was just a massive accident waiting to happen. My CB radio has not seen that much activity in such a long time. People were cussing. I can't even repeat some of the things that were being said. And all that being done, that driver in the left lane, he never let up. The guy in the right lane never let up. They just kept trying to pass each other. To me, that is not professional in any way. There are 2 different scenarios that could have happened there. Either the guy that got over into left lane would be like, hey, this isn't working, and got back over behind the other driver. Or the driver in the right lane could have been like, hey, he's apparently going just a little bit faster than I am. How about I, for a maximum of 15 seconds of my life, back off, let him get in front of me, and get back over, give him some distance, and then I'll get back up to my speed, and we'll continue on down our way. I don't understand why that is such a problem for people to do nowadays. In either situation, in either scenario. It's called common courtesy, professionalism, having a brain. I mean, like, let's be real, guys. That's what it's called, right? Like, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about basic human decency. It's insane. So that's just the hammer lane, okay? The next big issue I've seen is the fuel island. Let's talk about the fuel island. My word. Fuel island is probably the easiest place to show respect for someone else. And yet, for some reason, it's become like the norm for people to just do whatever they want and not care about the people around them. Before, basic common sense courtesy was you pull up to the pumps, take 10 minutes to punch in all the numbers and crap. You fill up your truck, do the windows while you're fueling, check your tires, do a quick walk around. Once you are done fueling, you pull up to the line. That line is not for you to go inside and take a 45-minute shower. No, it's not. That line is for you to go inside, grab your receipts, if you have any inside at the fuel, do a quick bathroom break, grab a cup of coffee, and take out to your truck. It takes most drivers roughly about 7 to 12 minutes to fill up their tanks, and possibly their DEF, and even their reefer if they are running reefers. 7 to 12 minutes. That's plenty of time. It's plenty of time for you to go in and do those things and still have enough time to come out before they're done. I do it all the time. I run in, use the bathroom, grab a cup of coffee, and I'm back on my way. It's not hard. And if I see there's a large line, and I'm like, man, I'm going to be a minute, I'll run back out and park. Just basic common courtesy. It's wild. I remember the other day, I stopped at a Love's. I prefer Love's when I get fuel and stuff. Stopped at a Love's to get fuel. I pull up, get behind, it's busy. I get behind a driver. Driver gets out, starts fueling. I'm very proud of him. He's doing his thing. And then immediately he starts walking towards the door. And I'm like, okay. I'm behind him. I can't go anywhere because I have people behind me and people on my sides as I'm waiting. I have nowhere I can go. I'm stuck. This guy is gone for 26 minutes. I counted. He was gone for 26 minutes. Come on, guys. I was blown away that this guy thought that and it was busy. It was busy. And he came back, he had food, he had a bag of fast food and a drink, and, he's just taking his time. Had no regard for anybody else around him. And this is happening a lot. It used to be a very rare occasion. It's happening a lot more lately. Another area I'm seeing the death of our brotherhood and our professionalism is when we go to shippers and receivers. There was a time when you showed up for your appointment, you presented your paperwork cleanly, you spoke respectfully to the yard jockeys and the office staff, and you were treated like a professional in return. You were a partner in, the supply chain, right? People respected you when you walked through the door. Nowadays, I see drivers roll up to the gate looking like they just crawled right out of their sleeping bag, handling over crumpled coffee stain papers, and they immediately start arguing with the guard about their appointment time. They treat the warehouse staff like personal servants. There was one time I was at a DC over in Minnesota, and a place notorious for being tough. Very strict on appointment times, a very strict area, a DC and a company. A new driver that was there was given a door, but it was a pretty tight back. It was close to it's basically one of the indoors where there's a fence and then the door's right next to it, so you can't do your 45 or your 90s like you can normally do. You've got to be creative. You basically have to do a blindside into it. So instead of him taking his time or, asking another driver for help, he got out of his cab and started screaming at the yard dog. He started cussing him out for not giving him an easier spot. I'm not even kidding, guys. This literally happened. I sat there in disbelief that I was witnessing this. I had been there for a while. After they got him situated, I was there for probably another 2 or 3 hours. It was a long delay. It's always a long time at that location. But when I was leaving, they hadn't touched that driver's freight yet. I guarantee he was probably there for a very long time. Here's the thing, guys. The people that frustrate us the most in this industry can make or break us in this industry. Dispatchers, be respectful. They will treat you better. Some of them, not always. But you can probably have a better opportunity if you have a good dispatcher and you show them respect. Same at shippers and receivers. If you are respectful to these people that you're coming into their property and you're at their location and you treat them with kindness and respect, you're probably going to get unloaded or loaded a lot quicker than if you come in there, guns blazing. My appointment time's at 2 o'clock and you're there at 6:30 demanding that they unload you. You're not going to get anywhere, I promise. Not only that, if you think about it, he probably poisoned the well for everyone that day. He probably put everybody there in a sour mood, which gives the rest of us a bad name. If you've ever walked up to a guard shack and they're cranky and just rude for no reason, it's probably because they've dealt with 15 drivers before you that day that were giant piles of crap. I can't really blame them. This is what happens. It doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody that comes in after you, right? Honestly, if we think about it, that's how we lose respect. It's one bad interaction at a time, Our next issue is we're losing mentors. We're losing good quality drivers, training newer drivers that are coming in, and we are also losing the CB radio. I think the death of communication from the CB and the extinction of mentorship is a big factor in all of this. Channel 19 on the CB radio used to be our internet, our social media, and our 911 all rolled into one. You would constantly hear drivers say something along the lines that bear report at the 112 mile marker. Wreckage in the right lane up ahead. Get over early. Hey driver, you got a flat on your trailer. Your door's open. There's smoke coming out from your brakes on the passenger side. It was a constant stream of critical, real-time information that kept all of us safe and efficient. But I think more than that, it was our community. We had our own language. We had our own way of interacting with each other. But nowadays, most new trucks don't even have a CB installed. Drivers are more and more isolated, staring at a GPS app that's already 5 minutes out of date, and they're completely blind to the reality of a mile down the road. They're so narrowly focused that they're not looking past the hood of their truck. I think this isolation is compounded by the death of mentorship. I think back in the day, a new driver learned from a veteran. You didn't just learn how to shift gears, you learned how to read the weather, you learned how to read the atlas, you learned how to talk to DOT and the scale masters. You learned how to manage your clocks, you learned how to handle yourself with dignity and respect and professionalism. You learned customer service. Your trainer was your mentor, and for the first few months, maybe even years, you were the rookie, and you knew it. You listened more than you talked. And that's another big issue. Everybody thinks that they know everything when they get out of driving school. And you don't have a clue. I've been at this for a few years. I still don't have a clue. The training nowadays at especially the mega carriers is a joke. Absolute joke. It's typically 3 to 5 weeks with another driver who's only really been on the road for probably about 6 months to a year. They'll teach you very basics, how to use the GPS, how to use the ELD, and tell you not to hit anything in the road. A lot of them will immediately just go into the back and start sleeping. They won't sit in the passenger seat with the driver and train them for the first week like they're supposed to. A lot of them are greedy. A lot of them do it just because they want the extra money without having to work. And that's why they do it. They've stopped teaching the culture. They don't teach you the code. They don't teach you about the Brotherhood and the sisterhood. They don't teach you about what it was like, about Party Row and all the things back in the day that made trucking so freaking awesome. They're creating steering wheel holders at an alarming rate, not professional truck drivers. And then they say they're good after their 3 to 5 week training, and then they turn it loose on the rest of us. And this isn't just some old lady yelling at the clouds, "Get off my lawn!" Like, that's not what this is about. This is essentially the breakdown of courtesy and professionalism and how it has real world consequences for every single one of us. Every time a new driver clogs up the highway in the left lane, there's a viral video, "Stupid trucker blocks traffic," or "Bonehead trucker of the week," and they get millions of views. The public doesn't see a new driver or a mega carrier trainee. They see a trucker. They see a truck driver. They see a professional that's gone through special training to get their professional license. And they assume that everybody behind the wheel of that truck is correctly trained and certified. These videos tend to fuel public anger, which leads to more calls for restrictive regulations, speed limiters, and more DOT enforcement. With this type of thing, we are literally inviting the government to make our jobs harder and less profitable. When fuel islands are being constantly blocked, it throws everyone's schedule off. That 20-minute delay might mean you miss your delivery window, forcing you to sit for a day without pay. Might mean you run out of hours and you have to take your 10-hour break at a rest area with no services instead of the truck stop you were aiming for. When drivers are rude to shippers, it makes the customer less friendly to all trucks, resulting in longer load times and stricter rules for everyone. This isn't about being nice for the sake of being nice. It's about preserving the efficiency and dignity of our own profession. We are a community. We are a brotherhood, whether we like it or not. And the selfish actions of one driver inevitably ripple outwards, making the job harder for the rest of us. So how do we fix it? How do we bring back some semblance of this etiquette that we're losing? Honestly, it's on us. It's on the drivers that have been out for several years. And it's also on the rookies willing to take a step back and listen to what people that have been out on the road have to say. It starts with a commitment to professionalism. For the new driver, make sure to seek out knowledge. The guy who's been out here for 20 years isn't your enemy, okay? Sometimes they get in their own head, I get it. But they're not your enemy. He is a library. Instead of getting defensive if he tries to help you or, correct you, ask questions. If you're at a diner somewhere and there's a table for drivers, start up conversations. "Hey driver, any tips on backing into tight docks?" Buy him a cup of coffee. Pick his brain. There's one thing I've noticed, especially the old timers, is they love to talk. They love spreading good quality information to people that are willing to listen. They will talk your ear off. You might be there for several hours, but you know what? You will learn more in that 3-hour time span with that driver than you will ever learn with a trainer or CDL school or just driving solo for the next 20 years. Ultimately, the CDL school that you went to gave you a license, but it's up to us to earn the title of professional. Now, if you're a veteran, we have to be better at being mentors that they never had. God loving, I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard to try and talk to somebody that doesn't want to listen. Trust me, I know. Especially being a female. What do you know? Yeah, I get it. Right? Like, I get it. However, yelling on the CB or giving a guy finger doesn't solve anything either. It tends to just breed more resentment, right? If you see a driver struggling, offer a hand. If you have a chance to share a piece of advice at a fuel counter, do it respectfully. We have to be the guardians of this code. We have to teach it because no one else is going to. And I think both of us, both new drivers and veterans, I think we need to bring back the basics. I think we need to create a simple universal creed. The fuel island is for fuel only. The left lane is for passing only. After you get back over, flash your hazards. Do some funky thing with your turn signal lights. Let them know that you appreciate letting them back over. It's very simple, guys. Can we please also park like a professional? Even if it takes a couple extra tries to get into a spot correctly, please don't block people in. Please don't block people in. Don't hog up 2 spaces because you didn't park straight. You parked at a diagonal and now the back of your trailer is over the line and the other driver can't pull in. Please don't do that, guys. Just take 2 extra minutes to get into the spot correctly. Get a CB radio and get it installed in your trucks. Some of these crashes lately that we have seen with drivers could have been prevented or at least minimized if people had CBs and were listening and saying, hey, crash up ahead southbound, crash up ahead, mile marker 12, up ahead, whatever. We have to be able to communicate with each other. If we don't know each other's phone numbers, hey driver, crash up ahead. No, CB is our communication. Put a CB in your truck. Just listen. You don't even have to talk on it, just listen. I want to be clear that this isn't about nostalgia for some bygone golden age that never really existed. This is about survival. The world of trucking has changed, and it's changing drastically as years progress. ELDs, driver-facing cameras, and giant impersonal corporations are the new reality. But those are just tools and circumstances. They don't define our character. Professionalism, courtesy, and respect, those come from the person behind the wheel. They are the bedrock of the code. That code was the invisible force that made this difficult, lonely job bearable. It made it a profession to be proud of. We've let it slip, and we're paying the price, it seems. But we can still fix it. And I think the power to fix this lies with every single driver who turns a key tomorrow morning. It's in the decision to move right, to pass cleanly, to clear the fuel island quickly, and to treat every person you meet with the respect you expect for yourself. The code isn't dead. It's just waiting for us to remember how to speak its language. And for the new driver that thinks this is all just old driver ranting talk, you might be right. You know, you might be. But one day you're going to be the one stuck behind that rolling roadblock, or waiting on that guy to finish his lunch or come back from the shower at the fuel pump, and you'll start to understand. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave your comments down below. What would you like to see return into the trucking industry that you miss? Party row, you know, that kind of stuff. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.